Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Project Trinity Weekly Podcast, where we explore the ideas, tools, and voices that are shaping the future of our communities. I want to start with a question, and I want everyone listening to really think about it. If artificial intelligence could solve just one problem in your village today, what will it be? Will you use it to predict the rain so farmers can plant on time? Or will you use it to diagnose diseases before they spread? Or maybe you'll use it to connect young people to new job opportunities without leaving the village. These are not far-fetched ideas anymore. This is the reality we are stepping into. AI, once thought to be a distant, urban, and high-tech concept, is now closer to rural communities than ever before. The real question is, are we ready to use it, shape it, and make it work for us? That's why today's episode is so exciting. We are talking about AI in the village, how artificial intelligence can move from being a global to a local solution that touches real lives. We are asking, how do we make sure that rural communities are not far behind? How do we use technology not just to consume, but to create change? Before we get started, I am your host, Valerie Geruto, working with Project Trinity to bridge the digital gap in rural communities. And I also use AI to build websites for schools and communities and support agriculture projects. So today, I'm thrilled to have two incredible guests to help us unpack this conversation. We have Enos Tudoko, who has been at the front lines of change and understands what rural communities really needs from technology. And also we have Nicholas Chesumbur, whose work with Project Trinity focuses on empowering youth and turning big ideas like AI into practical and community-driven actions. So together, we'll explore what AI really means, where it's already showing up in our lives and challenges we must overcome, and the vision for a truly AI-powered village of the future. But before we dive in, I want to invite everyone listening to be part of this movement. Subscribe to Project Trinity podcast on your favorite platform and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, and join a growing community of young leaders and change makers who believe that rural voices can drive global solutions. Yes, Enos and Nicholas, you're welcome.
Yes, good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Project Trinity podcast. I'm Enos Tudoko, and I'm really glad we are talking about AI today. This is because it's not a topic for big cities or Silicon Valley. This is about how technology can actually touch lives right here in our villages. And with me is Nicholas, who always has a great insight on these issues. I can't wait to hear what he will add. If you are listening from your farm, your shop, or wherever you are, stay tuned. Today's discussion could change how you look at technology forever.
Yeah, hello and welcome everyone to today's episode of the Project Trinity podcast. My name is Nicholas Isimbur and I am glad you joined us today. Today we have an exciting conversation lined up and I would love you to stay with us all the way through. As we go along, feel free to reflect, share your thoughts, or even ask questions because this podcast is not about just talking, it's about learning, it's about imagining, it's about building together. So sit back, stay tuned, and let's dive right in.
Yes, as you've heard from our incredible guest, so get ready for an hour of insights, ideas, and inspiration. Let's dive into AI in the village. So, Enos, when you hear the word AI in the village, what pictures comes into your mind? Is it excitement? Is it curiosity? Or maybe even fear?
Yes, Valerie, when I hear those words, AI in the village, the first thing that comes to my mind is hope. I see our community no longer depending on guesswork but having tools that give timely, helpful answers right in their hands. Picture this, a farmer standing in the middle of their shamba, looking up at the clouds, wondering whether to risk planting or to wait. Instead of gambling with their hard-earned seeds, they get a simple text that says, hold on for 2 days. Better rain is coming on Tuesday. That single text could mean the difference between a failed harvest and a bumper harvest. I also see another picture of a young mother sitting under a tree breastfeeding her baby when her basic phone beeps with a message. Clinic visit tomorrow at 10 a.m. for your child immunization. She now plans ahead, doesn't waste fare walking to the dispensary on the wrong day, and her child stays protected from preventable diseases. I also see our youth, who are often the first to try new things, sitting in a solar powered digital hubs, working on shared laptops. They are not just scrolling social media, they are using AI tools to write things like CVs, to translate documents into other languages, for instance, Swahili, to create logos for small businesses, to learn how to build websites. Some are even running small online shops. Suddenly, they don't have to leave the village to get the digital opportunities. The opportunities come to them. And you know what? These images fill me with excitement because for so long, rural areas have been the last to benefit from new technology. Roads take years to be built, electricity arrives late, sometimes even clean water takes too long. But with AI, as long as there's a phone signal or a digital hub, the village can get the same quality of information and advice that someone in a city gets. Of course, I won't lie, there's also a bit of fear. People wonder, will this thing spy on us? Will it take away our jobs? Will it make decisions for us that we don't agree with? Those fears are natural whenever a new technology arrives. Even when mobile phone came, people were afraid at first. They thought that their money would just disappear into the air, but today we cannot imagine life without it. That's why I believe the excitement is bigger than the fear because AI can put power back into the hands of the farmer, the parent, the small trader, the border rider. It means they no longer wait days to get an agricultural officer or a veterinary officer. They can get answers right now in real time. For me, AI in the village looks like a future where the knowledge gap is closed, where our people can make decisions with confidence. It's about dignity, about speed, and about inclusions. It's about a village being connected to the world as followers, but as participants. Thank you.
Wow, that was so inspiring, Henos. I'm glad that AI gives you hope. Yeah, and it has been of more productivity here in the village. So, Nicholas, what first got you curious about AI, and why do you believe it's important for rural communities?
Yeah, first I got curious about AI when I realized it was not just for robots or those big companies, but for solving everyday problems. I remember visiting a village where a farmer lost almost his entire maize harvest because the rain just came 2 weeks. later than expected. He had predicted. So an AI-powered weather app could have told him, you know what, relax, wait for those two weeks. That stuck with me because I saw that if an AI can guide a farmer at the right time, it can change a whole family's livelihood. So for me, AI is important for rural communities because it gives them the access, uh, it gives them access to the same knowledge and opportunities as people in the cities. It's about leveling the play field so that they can also get a room for improvement. Yeah.
Wow, that's so amazing. We can now see that for once when we thought that AI is only for those who are living in urban, but now you can see that AI is also helping those who are in the village. So Henos, if you had if you had to explain artificial intelligence to a grandparent in your community, how will you describe it in simple words?
So this is, I think, this is my favorite question because it forces us to be simple and human. If we cannot explain AI to our grandparents, then maybe we don't fully understand it ourselves. If I was sitting with my grandmother today, maybe under a tree, I'd start by saying, AI is like that wise elder in the village who remembers everything. Which year the rain failed, which season the maize did well, what got sick and survived, which herb worked. That elder who can sit in a barasa and say, in 1983, the rain were late. We planted beans in May and we still harvested. Now imagine if that elder could check information not just from our village, but from every village in the world and do it in a few seconds. I'd, I'd pause here and watch her face because this image makes AI less scary. Then I'll give her the real life scenario. Let's say you want to know when to plant beans this year. Instead of guessing, this AI looks at all the weather patterns, remembers how the rain behaved for many years, and then tells you plant on this date. The rain will be enough. If you have a sick cow, you can describe the symptoms or even show the picture, and AI will say, this is probably the sickness. Here is what you should try. By now, my grandmother is nodding because she understands that, that this is not magic. It's just a helper that has learned from many examples. I also make it clear that AI is not here to replace our wisdom, but to add it. How sometimes we sit with you and ask you for advice because you have seen many seasons. AI is like an extra advisor who has seen millions of seasons. You still decide what to do, but now you have more information to help you decide. And I will add a bit of reassurance. AI does not have emotions like anger or favoritism. It just gives suggestions based on what it has learned. It's not magic, it's not witchcraft, and it does not know everything. It can make mistakes, so we still need to use our heads and confirm things. But when used well, it can save time, money, or and even lives. This explanation makes AI less of a big, complicated word and more of friendly helper, like a neighbor who is always available to answer your question. And I think that's the key to show that AI is not a robot that comes to control us, but a tool that can help us make better decisions. The same way we accepted things like tractors to make plowing easier or mobile phones to make communication faster. We can accept AI as the next tool to make thinking and planning easier. So that's my take.
Wow, with that explanation, I think the grandparents will really understand what's AI and all in details. So, Nicholas, many people think AI is only for big cities or developed countries. How do you respond to that belief?
Okay, that's if I have always heard of, but I think about it. A farmer in Eldoret maybe that don't need an AI to book a taxi like the people in Nairobi. They just need it to know whether to plant maize or a sorghum. That is even more powerful because that is what is reasonable to someone who is in the rural community. Yeah, for example, in Kitui, where drought is mostly it's common, AI models can help predict rainfall and advise farmers on drought-resistant crops. For that farmer, AI is not just a luxury; it is survival. So I always say AI may look like it was born in the city, but its true destiny is in the village. Yeah.
Yes, wow, that's so great. So we can see that I think AI is more helpful for farmers, maybe even for more, it's more helpful for those people in the village, because the people in the village are those who can farm, they can do many things, and they can utilize AI to do it. So, Henos, what is one everyday problem in your community, maybe in farming, health, or education, that you believe AI could maybe solve right now?
Yes, thank you, Valerie, for that. This is a powerful question because it makes me think about the real struggles we see every day. If I had to pick one problem, it will be pests and diseases on farms because they hurt nearly every household here. Imagine this: a farmer wakes up early, goes to check his maize, and sees a strange spots on the leaves. He is not sure if this is just normal drying, if it's a disease, or if it's some type of new pests. He asks a neighbor, and the neighbor says maybe wait and see. By the time they find an extension officer or an agricultural officer, if they can find one, the disease has already spread half the crop, and half the crop is gone. AI can solve that problem today. There are already simple apps where you can take a picture of the maize leaf, and in seconds it says, "This looks like a fall armyworm. Here is what to spray. Here is how soon you must act." Imagine if every farmer could use that instead of losing half their harvest. They could that saves it early. Instead of guessing, they act with confidence. And it's not just crops. Think about livestock. Sometimes animals die because we notice sickness too late. AI can help here too by using small devices or even phone-based survey to check temperatures, watch for changes in eating or movement, and warn us. AI could even help plan a grazing schedule so that pastures don't get overused, or warn us if drought is coming, so we can store hay and water early. And outside farming, AI can do so much for health and education. Imagine parents getting automatic reminders for clinic days, or mothers receiving tips on child nutrition based on age. And also imagine a student who is struggling with maths using AI. Uh, Imagine a student who is struggling with maths using AI tutor that explains step by step. patiently in Kiswahili or just that local language, not just once, but as many times as they need without getting tired or annoyed. AI could even translate important documents into local languages so elders can understand government notices or health announcements. For me, this is what makes AI exciting. It's not just about robots or futuristic technology. It's about solving real everyday problems like protecting harvests, saving livestock, improving health, supporting child education or children education, making information easier to understand. If we start with these simple, visible wins, people will begin to see AI not as something scary, but as trusted partner in their daily life. And when people trust it, they will begin to ask for more solutions, and that's when real change happens. Yeah.
Wow, that's so inspiring, Henos. That for now you can just see, take a picture of a leaf, and then AI will tell you which disease is affecting that plant. We can see that it's very helpful for the farmer. Yeah, because in the past you could get a farmer looking for a medical officer, and then there were no phones, so you could find someone just walking for a long distance to go and find that officer, so that he or she will come and tell the farmer which is the disease affecting the plant. But you can see now with the AI in the village, a farmer can do anything. So, Nicholas, what are some exciting real world examples where AI is already helping small communities, maybe in Kenya or across Africa?
Yeah, sure. AI has really helped most of our communities. But let me just say three of them. Uh, First, in the farming context, in Kenya, there is an app called Plant Village Nuru. Uh, I once met a farmer in Bungoma who used it to identify maize little necrosis on his crops. He simply just took a photo and of the plant leaves just with his smartphone, and the app now could tell him what disease it was and how to respond to that disease. So normally you would have waited for weeks for an expert like Enos had said, getting to an expert to visit the farm, look at the plants, and say what the disease was and what is the remedy for the disease. So AI saved the season. That is the first example. And another example is I'll call out of Kenya, in Rwanda. In Rwanda, drones powered by what is called AI sibling deliver vaccines and medicine to remote villages. Most part of Rwanda is remote. So these AI uh, robots, they deliver vaccines and medicine to these remote villages, and within just some minutes or hours. So imagine the difference now for a mother who could otherwise walk hours to the clinic, because almost everywhere is rural and clinics are far. So it could take some hours. And then that is the second. And another real world example is here in Kenya again in education. So we have, I have seen this Mshule app, which it sends AI driven lessons to students through SMS. I once visited a certain rural school where children, they had never interacted with a real computer, but they were still learning math through this simple text, where you send text and the app is responding. That AI at work in real life.
Wow, that's so great. So we can see that from Nicholas' perspective, we can see that we can find people who have used AI but without realizing it. So Henos, Have you or anyone you know already used AI without realizing it? Maybe on a phone, in a service, or at school?
Yeah, this is where the surprise is, because the truth is many of us are already using AI without even knowing it. I remember one time when I was buying my first smartphone. Uh, I went to one of the shops in town, and the marketer told me that because I asked him, "What makes you to sell me this phone?" I told him, he told me, "This phone has AI." In the first place, I didn't know something called AI. So I was curious and asked him, what does that mean? What do you mean by saying this phone has AI? So he explained to me that this phone has a AI camera that can be used to unlock your phone. So by that, I started doing more research on AI. So that alone, when you unlock your phone with your face, that's AI recognizing you. And when you use your map apps and it says avoid this road, there's traffic ahead, that's AI predicting congestion. When you and also most of us like streaming songs on platforms like YouTube, and you might be listening one song, maybe one gospel song on YouTube, and it lines up uh, 10 more that you'll probably enjoy. That's I recommending content based on your behavior. Even in mobile money fraud detection, uses AI. It looks for patterns that don't seem normal and blocks suspicious transactions to protect you. So AI is not some futuristic robots waiting to arrive. It's already here in our pockets, working quietly. The challenge is to now start using the same power to solve real problems, save crops, keep animals healthy, help students learn, and connect our small businesses with bigger markets. When people realize they are already using AI safely, the fear drops and the curiosity grows. Okay, what else can this do for me? So, yeah, I've seen I've seen a lot of people use AI.
Yeah, for sure. Many people have just see they're using AI actually without knowing it. Now, and this is where Project Trinity comes in. Now, Nicholas, can you tell us how does Project Trinity plan to integrate AI into its programs so that it benefits even the most remote communities?
Yeah, sure. At Project Trinity, our first mission is to, set up these digital centers in the rural communities. So I imagine a young person, maybe uh, deep inside West Pokot County, walking into one of our centers, learning how these AIs work, and then now using those skills to find a global employment. That is something that is amazing. That is something that is great. All without leaving their village. Just doing it from wherever you are. And also we Project Trinity is trying to bring AI into farming support, which will include Trinity Care and Trinity Health Care also. Integrating these apps will bring our programs to farmers, maybe around now Kenya, Haiti, and they can get advice in real time and also get services for their farms. And most importantly, we want to break the the language barriers. Let's picture a honey farmer in somewhere in, say in Baringo, who want to sell the honey to the United States or maybe Germany. You know, with AI handling the translation, someone who is in rural community maybe doesn't understand these other languages, but integrating AIs which translates these language barriers, for example, from Kiswahili to Germany, Kiswahili to English, uh, Pokot itself to English, it will be so helpful. That's how AI now connects the village to the world.
Wow. You can see that with Project Trinity, AI is going to reach many remote villages and people are going to get a lot of services. Yeah. So, Henos, what's the single biggest obstacle you think will stop people in the village from trusting or using AI? Maybe in terms of cost, knowledge, or something else?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is trust. Trust in the village, people want to see with their own eyes. If you tell them that an app can predict rain, they will say, "Let me see if it works fast," and that's fair. They can't risk their whole harvest on guesswork. That's why we need to start with the small wins. Let AI predict rain accurately 3 times in a row or more. Let it help a neighbor treat a sick goat and save it. Let it correctly diagnose a maize disease and stop a farmer from losing their harvest. People will talk, words will spread, trust will grow. The second obstacle, I think, is knowledge. AI sounds complicated. When you tell someone AI, that sounds so complicated. So many people feel it's not for them. The solution is to explain. The solution is to explain it in simple words, in Swahili or Pokot or whichever language, and most importantly, let them see it in action. Show, don't just tell. And yes, there is cost. It can be cost also can be a barrier, but most AI tools now can run on regular smartphones, and some even work through SMS or WhatsApp. So cost is no longer the biggest problem, but trust and understanding are the biggest obstacles.
Yeah, for sure. Trust. People, when you tell someone anything about AI, and then he or she will just ask you first, can you bring it? I try first, show me. So he or she can prove. If it works, then he will agree with it. If it does not, then we will keep questioning. So, Nicholas, how can we encourage young developers in rural areas to build AI tools that solve local problems, not just solutions made for big cities?
Yeah, it's just give it a thought. I met a young boy uh, in the market. This boy, uh, he loved coding pattern. Okay, I think let's think of a young boy in Elgeyo Marakwet. He really loved the coding, and he had no access to a computer lab where he could do this coding. But with mentorship and access to maybe simple tools like AI platforms like the Google Teachable Machine, that same youth could create an app that predicts diseases in cattle, something that this community actually needed. So we need to celebrate these local challenges as opportunities instead of using codings on another riding hailing app. why not build an AI tool that maybe help border riders in the village calculate the cheapest routes, or maybe AI chatbot uh, that will translate Kiswahili and teaches farmers about drought-resistant crops. If we invest in these young developers locally, they will create solutions rooted in their culture and community. A developer in the city does not know what is happening in the rural community. So when we do this locally, uh, those local developers, they already know uh, what it's in their culture, what's in their community, and it will be really helpful.
Yeah, for sure. So before we continue, here is a story that inspires me every time I think about it. So a few months ago, a young woman from a remote village joined one of our Project Trinity digital skills workshops. So she had never used a computer before, but she was determined to learn. During the training, she discovered out AI tools that could translate languages and help create content for small businesses. So within weeks, she started helping local shop owners write better product descriptions, design flyers, and even reach new customers online, all using free AI tools we introduced to her. So today, she earns an income from what started from a simple curiosity and in teaching other girls in the village to do the same. So when we posted a story on our Instagram page, it sparked a flood of messages from young people who wanted to know how they could start their own journey. So this is why following Project Trinity matters. So every story we share can be the spark that changes someone's future. Maybe even yours. You might not know. So if you're listening right now, subscribe to Project Trinity podcast and join our growing community. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Instagram. It all goes under the name Project Trinity. So, and be part of the conversation to stay updated and help us spread the word. The next opportunity we share could be the one that changes your life. Yeah. So, as we continue, Henos, how, maybe you can share with us how Project Trinity works, maybe in terms of digital hubs, training, internet access. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I really feel proud because Project Trinity has already been laying the foundation for this. Our digital hubs are solar powered, so even in areas without electricity, youth and parents can come in and use computers, connect to Wi-Fi, and learn. We are teaching digital skills, how to type, how to use email, how to search the internet, so that when AI come, people already know the basics. And now we are starting to integrate AI step by step, teaching youth how to use AI chatbots to write CVs, how to translate documents, how to summarize reports, even how to check plant health. The hubs make AI something you can touch. It's no longer just a story you hear on the radio. You can try it yourself, see results, and go home talking about it. That's how adoption spreads.
Wow, that's so great. So, Nicholas, what do you think responsible AI introduction looks like, especially in places with low digital literacy like here in remote areas?
Yeah, actually, to me, it looks like walking into a village meeting, standing under a tree, and explaining AI in Kiswahili or the local dialect, saying AI is like a smart friend, but this smart friend gives advice based on the information, but it does not replace the wisdom. You know, it looks like using SMS-based tools, maybe like Mshule, which work on basic phones. So even without a smartphone, someone can benefit. Yeah, and it looks like combining AI with human guidance. For example, a local agricultural officer may be using an AI app to advise farmers. So instead of using the AI alone, uh, without instead of AI being used alone without a human concept. Yeah.
Yes, that's a great explanation, Nicholas. So, Henos, how do you think rural youth can use AI to turn their ideas into businesses or even advocacy campaigns?
Yes, our young people are full of ideas and energy. They just need tools. AI can help them turn that energy into impact. Imagine a young person using AI to design posters for a shop, create logos for border associations, or write social media posts for farmers selling milk or any other product. Another youth could use AI to check which markets are paying the best prices for maize or potatoes, and organize farmers to sell together at better rates. AI can even help you to write proposals for community projects like clean water, better roads, and then present them to leaders in a professional way. And and it's not just a business; it's advocacy too. Youth can collect data about school attendance or water shortages. Use AI to analyze patterns and use that information to demand change from authorities. This is um, this is how we turn youth from job seekers into job creators and problem solvers. Yeah.
Yeah, that brings a clear picture of how youths are using these AI tools to get maybe the best market for their products and also to go on with their businesses. So, Nicholas, there is a fear that AI will replace jobs. What's your take? Could AI actually create more opportunities for rural youth?
Yeah, I understand that fear. But also, let's think back to when mobile phones came first to the villages. Many people feared they would kill traditional jobs. Instead, they created new ones. For example, mobile money agents, the phone repair shops, and all these digital businesses. So, uh, in this context, AI can do the same. For rural youth, it can create jobs in data collection, digital services, and global freelancing. So imagine a young person in rural community earning income by maybe labeling images for AI systems or working as an online assistant for a company abroad, all from the village. So no, I can say AI is not here to steal jobs. It is here to shift the jobs and create new ones. So if we prepare our youth well, then they are good to go.
Yes, we can see Nicholas affirms to us that AI will not replace the jobs. Yeah. So maybe Henos, you can add us some fears or misconception that people have about AI, and how do we clear them up?
Yes, that's such an important question because I think misconceptions are what stops people from even trying AI in the first place. The first misconception is that AI will take all our jobs. That's what Nicholas has just said. People hear about machines that can do human tasks and think that soon there will be nothing left for us to do. But the truth is, AI is better at repetitive work like sorting data, marking multiple choice tests, organizing schedules, and that actually frees up humans to do more important work. For in schools, teachers get to spend more time with slow learners, and in health workers can spend more time with patients instead of doing paperwork. And in farms, farmers can focus on planning and marketing instead of guessing the weather. And the second misconception is that AI is spying on them, listening to everything that they say or stealing their secrets. This is a real fear because people imagine AI is some all seeing eye, but AI is just a tool. It only knows what we feed into it. What we need is just education about privacy, how to use the safe apps, how to share only the information that is necessary, and how to choose tools that explain clearly how they use your data. And the third misconception is that AI is too complicated or it's only meant for experts in cities. I think some people think you need to be a scientist to use it, but most of us already using AI. Every time we unlock our phone with our face, use maps to find the quickest route, or watch a video and get recommendation, that is AI. The challenge now is to move beyond entertainment and start using it to solve local problems. And finally, some people think AI is like magic. People think AI is like magic. They say, how can a machine know so much? But AI is not magic. It just learns from a lot of examples very quickly. It's like a very fast student that never sleeps. I think the best way to deal with these misconceptions is to show people AI working in real life. Let them take a picture of a sick plant, see the diagnosis, act on it, and then watch the crops improve. Once they see results with their own eyes, fear turns into curiosity, and curiosity turns into trust. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We can see that trust is everything. Yeah, with trust, the community members will get out of this misconception, and they will know more about AI. And also, Enos has shared with us that AI, you feed it with the data so that it only gives what you feed you, the examples you've said, and yeah, how you've taught it. So, and we all know that AI learns from data. So, Nicholas, we see that rural communities are often left out of the data. So how do we make sure the realities are included in the algorithms?
Okay, sure. Our rural communities, most of the time, are left behind. But I think of maybe languages. AI tools often understand English perfectly, but they tend to struggle with Kiswahili or these other local dialects. So that means our voices are not yet uh, included in the data of the artificial intelligence. So now to fix this, we need to collect data, the local data responsibly. For example, let's say community health workers in, let's say, in Turkana, collecting health symptoms with, let's say, tablets, or a teacher in Kitui contributing uh, learning data in Kiswahili. So this will help the AI to include it into its algorithm. So this way, the AI now does not just reflect on the city, but it will now reflect also the reality of our villages. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, Nicholas. We, as a in remote areas, we can collect as much data as possible so that we feed it into AI system, maybe the AI tool you are creating, so that it will also know the problems the people in the remote areas are going through, and it will have all the data from the village. So, Henos, can you share a personal story where technology or even basic tech solved a community problem, and imagine how AI could be made it fast?
Yeah, maybe I can share a short story, and that's during COVID in 2020. We had a big problem distributing seeds and foods to families who are struggling. So what we did was we used WhatsApp groups to collect names and organize volunteers. This worked, but it was very slow. Lots of late nights updating the spreadsheets and calling people. You can imagine that kind of work. So imagine now if we had AI at that time, it could have analyzed which villages were most in need and group deliveries efficiently, and even sent automatic SMS reminders to families. Like your seeds will arrive today at maybe 2-3 p.m. Be ready. So it could have made the work easier. This that experience taught me that technology multiplies what we can do, and AI multiplies it even more. It takes the same good intentions and gives them speed and scale. Yeah, so that's my short story about how where technology has solved problem.
Wow, those are great examples, Henos. So, Nicholas, what role can governments, also NGOs and tech companies play to bring AI in villages in a fair and inclusive way?
Yeah, sure, Valerie. AI most of the time it works using uh, these digital tools. So the government now must provide the basics, for example, the electricity, maybe the internet, and supportive policies uh, to these rural communities, because AI mostly do not work without these digital tools. So without that, no AI app can work in a remote village. Yeah, and maybe on the NGOs, particularly like Project Trinity, they can do grassroots training. I imagine our centers hosting digital literacy classes to the villagers, the community. So where farmers can learn to use AI apps step by step, teaching them. And for the tech companies, should design affordable solutions. For example, Safaricom DigiFarm, which is now already in use. It helps farmers track records and access loans with just their mobile phones. So when these three groups work together, the village is included in this now digital uh, revolution.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome, Nicholas. We see that when governments, NGOs, and the tech companies collaborate then and bring AI to the all places, even to the remote villages, we can see that it will solve a lot of community problems. Those problems maybe that could even affect the rural communities most. It can get solved and with less time and less energy. So, Henos, what's the best way to teach a rural community about AI without overwhelming them with all these technical terms?
Yeah, so this is a good question, Valerie, because we have seen it before. When you bring a completely new idea to the village, if you are just if you just lecture people, they get confused or even scared. But when you show them in a way they can see and touch, their eyes light up. So the best way to teach AI is to demonstrate and not give a lecture. Here is what I will do. First, I will gather a small group, maybe 10 farmers, few parents, or a few youth, and then take them to a real farm. We will find a crop with some visible problem, maybe yellow leaves, wilting spots. Then I'll say, let's take a photo and see what this AI tool tells us. When they see that within seconds their phone shows the possible disease or even recommends an actions, that's when they start to believe. This may even say, hey, can it do what that to my farm too? Then I'll show something closer to daily life. Maybe take a government notice written in English and use AI to translate it instantly into Swahili or any other language like maybe Haitian Creole. People see it go from language they struggle with to something they understand right in front of their eyes, and they say, this can really help us. Yeah, so the next step is to explain slowly in simple words what just happened. No big technical jargon like machine learning models or neural networks. I'd simply say this tool has seen many examples of crops. It compares your picture to all those examples and gives its best case. It's not magic, it's just very fast at recognizing patterns. And most importantly, I'd say to them, try it themselves. Learning sticks when people touch and do. One person can take a photo, another can ask a question in their own words, another can try a translation. Once they do it with their own hands, they can go home and tell their neighbors, I tried it myself and it worked. And finally, I'll make sure to do everything in local language because people feel left out when everything is in English. You can see them switch off when they don't understand. So I will speak in Swahili, sprinkly in Pokot where needed, and answer questions one by one until everyone is comfortable. The goal is not to make them experts in one day. It's to remove the fear and build curiosity. You want them to live thinking, this is something I can use again tomorrow. Uh, so this is not complicated for me. And here is the best part. Once the first group understands and trusts it, they become your ambassadors. They'll go and explain it to their neighbors. And because they speak the same language and share the same challenges, adoption spreads even faster. So that's my take.
Wow. I think with that explanation, people will understand all about AI, because you'll not be using these technical terms like algorithms, machine learning, neural networks, patterns. Yeah, with that explanation, Enos, yeah, that will be great. So as you're about to wind up, maybe Nicholas, will tell us about maybe what safeguards should we put in place so AI doesn't harm communities, whether through bias, misuse, or privacy violation?
First, people must know their data is safe. A farmer may be somewhere in the rural community. Uh, he should be confident that when they upload their information to these AIs, it won't be misused. And secondly, AI should be transparent. If an app tells a farmer to that this season is best for beans instead of maize, they should understand why they are giving that solution. So, and thirdly, these rural communities themselves, they should be part of AI ethics discussion. So farmers, teachers, and youths, and also women, they must sit at a table. Not should not be just the tech experts, maybe in Nairobi or in in abroad. So they should be included in discussion concerning AI ethics.
Yeah, for sure. With all those safeguards, the people will follow the ethics, and then they will not be harmed. The AI will not harm communities. Yeah. So Enos and Nicholas, what last words do you have for our listeners about AI?
So, as we have seen today, artificial intelligence is not just about these machines or distant technology hubs, but it's about our real lives right here in our villages. You know, it's about farmers planting smarter, children learning faster, patients getting help sooner, and these communities finding their voices being heard in the global space. So the future is no longer something far away, but it's already walking into our homes, into our farms, into our schools. So the question for us is, will we be able to embrace it? Will we be able to shape it and make sure it works for every villager, every family, every dreamer? So at Project Trinity, we believe the answer is yes. The village is not behind. It is the starting point of the next wave of innovation. So thank you for staying with us in this conversation. I hope you carry these ideas forward, not share with others, and most importantly, ask yourself, what role can I play uh, in making AI in the village a reality? Until next time, I'm Nicholas Chesimbur. Let's keep building, let's keep connecting, and let's keep dreaming together. Asanteni.
Yeah, and to our listeners, try an AI tool on your phone or maybe on your computer. Ask questions and share what you learn. The future of AI is not something to watch from far, it's something we can shape together. Thank you. Until next time, stay curious.
Wow, what an incredible conversation today at Project Trinity Weekly Podcast. So, we set out to explore with AI in the village, what AI in the village really means. So, and I think we've learned something powerful. AI is not just a big tech for faraway cities. It's a tool that can transform farming, healthcare, education, and even how we participate in decision making. A huge thank you to my amazing guest, Enos Tudoko, for giving us a clear picture of what communities are feeling, fearing, and hoping when it comes to AI, and Nicholas Chesimbur for helping us see how Project Trinity is building the foundation for digital empowerment and making sure rural youth are not but creators and leaders in the new era. If there is one message that I want to take away from this episode, it is this: AI is coming. In fact, it's already here. So, but it's up to us to make sure it works for our communities and not against them. That starts with awareness, faith, where rural voices are heard, and global conversation. Yeah. So, to everyone listening, I have three things to leave for you. Get curious, explore free AI tools online, and experiment with how they can solve real problems in your community. Secondly, get connected. Join conversation like this one. Talk to your neighbors. Share what you have learned today. 3. Get involved because technology is powerful, but it's only as good as the people using it. So before we wrap up, don't forget to subscribe to the Project Trinity podcast and join our growing community. Follow Project Trinity and be part of the conversation. Stay updated and help us spread the word. That's where you will find more conversation like this, more updates like this, and also you'll know more about our programs, our stories, the stories of the youth who are using technology to lead change. Together, we can make sure that AI in the village, it becomes a reality that improves lives, creates opportunities, and it builds a future where no community is left behind. I was your host, Valerie Jeruto, and thank you so much for spending this hour with us. And remember, your voice matters, your community is waiting. and the future is in your hands. Let's build it together. Bye.